All right, so you love romance novels, and especially that friends to lovers trope.
Uh-huh.
But you're kind of looking for something a little bit more than
Yeah.
just the fluffy sweetness, right?
Right.
Well, today we're going to deep dive into People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry,
Okay.
and we're going to help you figure out if it's worth your time.
Great. I can tell you right off the bat, um, this book is a bit of a mixed bag. It's
Okay.
definitely fun. It's lighthearted. It's a good read for like a lazy afternoon by the pool or something like that.
Okay,
But, don't expect to be blown away with like originality or emotional depth.
I see.
It's like a perfectly mixed cocktail.
Okay.
It's refreshing and enjoyable, but maybe not the most complex or like the most memorable drink.
Gotcha. So maybe not a literary masterpiece, but
Right.
maybe still a good beach read.
Yeah.
So what's the book about?
So it follows Poppy and Alex and their best friends, and they take a summer vacation together every year.
Okay.
The catch is they haven't spoken in 2 years after like a disastrous trip to Palm Springs.
Oh,
And the story unfolds through flashbacks of their past adventures,
I see.
showing us how their relationship evolves.
That's interesting. I've seen that flashback structure done poorly where it feels
Right.
really clunky and it disrupts the flow.
Yeah.
Does it work well in this case?
It actually does. It
Okay.
does. Henry uses the flashbacks not just to build romantic tension, but also to reveal like deeper layers of their personalities.
Okay.
You see how their individual quirks and insecurities play out against the backdrop of all these amazing destinations they visit.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, all the reviews that I've read rave about the witty dialogue.
Yeah, the banter.
Is it as good as everyone says?
It is sharp, and there are definitely laugh out loud moments.
Great.
Henry has a knack for capturing that playful dynamic between two people who just know each other inside and out.
I love that.
Like there's one scene where they're in Croatia and Poppy describes Alex's outfit as looking like he's both pantsless and void of a personality
That's funny.
because he's wearing khakis.
Oh, no.
And it just perfectly sums up their relationship. That mix of like teasing affection
Yeah.
and genuine understanding.
But sometimes too much humor can feel like it's masking a lack of depth.
Yeah.
Did you find that to be the case here?
There's definitely an element of that, I think.
Okay.
Some readers felt that the humor, while entertaining, did overshadow the emotional stakes of the story a little bit.
Okay, so it's more lighthearted than heartbreak.
Yeah, more lighthearted.
What about the romance itself? Is it slow burn, enemies to lovers, or something else entirely?
It's definitely slow burn
Okay.
with that friends to lovers element that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But there's also a little bit of second chance romance thrown in there because
Right.
they have this history and like unresolved tension between them.
Okay, so that's a lot of tropes at play.
Yeah.
Does it feel fresh or does it fall into those predictable patterns?
It's a little bit of both, honestly.
Okay.
Some reviewers felt like they could see the ending coming from a mile away,
Yeah.
while others appreciated the nuanced way that Henry explored the complexities of their friendship and the slow, buildup of that romantic tension.
Okay, so not exactly groundbreaking, but still
Right.
potentially satisfying for the right reader.
Exactly. Think of it like comfort food.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting, and sometimes that's exactly what you need.
I think we need to dig a little deeper into the content to really
Yeah.
help our listener make a decision.
For sure.
What are some of the standout elements of the book?
Well, apart from the humor, the travel aspect is a big draw.
Okay.
Henry paints these vivid pictures of these exotic locations from the bustling markets of Barcelona to the serene beaches of Greece.
Nice.
It's almost like taking a vacation yourself just by reading the book.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's not just like pretty scenery.
Right.
The travel element actually plays a key role in Poppy and Alex's relationship.
Okay.
It kind of pushes them out of their comfort zones, forces them to confront their fears,
I see.
and ultimately reveals what they truly value in life and in each other.
That's interesting because so many romance novels use travel as a backdrop,
Right.
but it rarely feels integral to the character's growth.
Yeah.
How does Henry manage to make it more than just a setting?
She uses each destination as a mirror reflecting their inner struggles.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, when they're in this charming Italian village surrounded by all these like couples,
Uh-huh.
it triggers Poppy's anxieties about settling down
Yeah.
and her fear of losing Alex's friendship if they cross that line.
That makes me think about how our travel experiences can reveal so much about
Totally.
ourselves and our relationships.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Poppy's character arc.
Okay.
He's the life of the party, always seeking adventure and excitement.
Uh,
But beneath that bubbling exterior, she's grappling with self-doubt and a fear of vulnerability.
right.
As a reader, I'm always drawn to characters who have those hidden depths.
Yeah,
The ones who make you laugh, but also make you think.
for sure.
Does Poppy deliver?
Poppy definitely delivers on that front.
Okay, good.
Through her journey, we see how travel becomes this catalyst for self-discovery.
Right?
It allows her to step outside of her comfort zone, confront her fears, and ultimately embrace her true self.
That's awesome. What
Yeah.
about Alex? What's his deal?
He is more reserved,
He's the grounding force.
Yeah, the grounding force in their dynamic, for sure.
Yeah.
But beneath that calm exterior, he's harboring his own insecurities and a deep-seated fear of change.
Okay.
And this is where I think Henry cleverly subverts that typical, brooding hero trope.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
His emotional guardedness stems not from some tragic past or whatever,
Right.
but from a genuine desire to protect himself and the people that he cares about.
Interesting.
And so his growth comes from learning to open up to embrace the unexpected.
Okay.
And to realize that sometimes the greatest adventures are found in the people we least expect.
So it's not just Poppy that's on a journey.
Exactly.
Self-discovery.
Yeah, they're both on a journey.
And their journeys intertwine.
They do. They intertwine beautifully. Yeah.
Cool.
And that's kind of reflected in their banter, too. It's not just surface-level humor. It's a way for them to communicate their vulnerabilities,
I see.
to test the waters, and ultimately to deepen their connection.
So it's like their humor is this secret language
It is.
that they share.
Yeah.
A way to connect on a deeper level without always having to spell things out.
Right, exactly.
You mentioned earlier that some reviewers found the book predictable.
Yeah.
Did you feel that way?
Honestly, yeah, to some extent.
Okay.
The central conflict, the reason why they stopped speaking for 2 years, felt a little bit contrived
Okay.
and unnecessarily drawn out.
And it relied on that classic miscommunication trope
It did, yeah.
that we see in so many romantic comedies.
Exactly.
But I wonder if for some readers, that predictability might actually be comforting.
I can see that, yeah.
Like slipping into a familiar pair of pajamas after a long day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And to be fair, even though the overall arc might be familiar, Henry's writing and the unique personalities of the characters make the journey enjoyable.
Okay.
You find yourself rooting for them even if you have a hunch about where they'll end up.
So it's like comfort food, but
Yeah.
with a gourmet twist.
Exactly. It's familiar but still satisfying.
I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We talked about the writing, the characters, the travel element,
Uh-huh.
and the deeper themes at play.
Right.
Anything else we should highlight before we move on to the final verdict?
Well, I think it's worth mentioning that this book has a really strong sense of place.
Okay.
Henry does a fantastic job of capturing the atmosphere of each location.
Yeah.
From the vibrant energy of Barcelona to the laid-back charm of a small Greek island.
Awesome.
You can practically feel the sun on your skin and taste the local cuisine as you read.
It's like she's giving readers a virtual vacation,
Yeah.
a chance to escape to these beautiful destinations from the comfort of their own homes.
Precisely. And that escapism is a big part of the book's appeal.
Right.
It allows readers to step out of their everyday lives and experience something new and exciting.
Who couldn't use a little escape right now?
Exactly. Sometimes all you need is a good book and a vivid imagination to transport yourself to a different world.
That's a great point, but with so many books vying for our attention,
Yeah.
how does People We Meet on Vacation stand out?
I think it stands out because of its focus on the power of connection.
Okay.
It's not just about the romantic relationship between Poppy and Alex. It's about the deep, abiding friendship that underpins it all.
I like that.
Yeah, it's about finding those people who make you feel seen and understood no matter where you are in the world.
I think that's what will resonate most with readers.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest adventures are found not in exotic locations, but in the people
Right.
who make us feel like we belong, like we're home.
Absolutely. And that's a message that's universally appealing regardless of whether you're a diehard romance fan.
Yeah.
Or simply someone who enjoys a good story about human connection.
I think we've covered a lot of ground here.
I think so.
We've talked about the writing, the characters, the travel element,
Yeah.
and the deeper themes at play.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure our listener is eager to hear the final verdict.
Yeah.
Is this book worth their precious reading time? So should our listener pack People We Meet on Vacation in their metaphorical beach bag.
I'd say it depends on what they're looking for.
Yeah.
If they want something super angsty or unpredictable, this one might not be for them.
Okay.
It might feel a little too light or familiar.
Right, we talked about the predictability.
Right, exactly.
But you're not saying it's a bad book. Just maybe.
No, not at all.
Not for everyone.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something light and funny and heartwarming
Yeah.
with a healthy dose of wanderlust,
Yes, then this book will definitely hit the spot.
okay.
It's like that favorite summer song that you just can't help but sing along to,
Yeah.
even if you've heard it 1,000 times.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah.
For those listeners who love that friends to lovers trope,
Yeah.
does this one stand out in any way?
I think it does a couple things really well within that trope.
Oh.
First, the way that Henry reveals their shared history through the vacation flashbacks
Uh-huh.
really adds a lot of depth to their relationship. You see how their connection has evolved,
Right.
from those first awkward encounters to moments of genuine intimacy.
That's what I liked about it, too. It's
Right.
not just two people suddenly realizing they have feelings.
Exactly.
There's an actual foundation to their relationship.
It's earned, yeah.
The shared experiences, inside jokes,
Right.
a deep understanding of each other.
Exactly. And secondly, I think the way that Henry uses humor to kind of highlight their vulnerabilities makes the characters feel really relatable.
Right.
Tease each other mercilessly, but you can tell that there's like real affection
Yeah.
and respect underneath the surface.
It's like their banter is a shield,
It is a shield.
a way to deflect.
Yeah, to deflect from those
Yeah.
more intense emotions.
Which makes the eventual,
Yeah.
coming together that much more satisfying.
So satisfying, you feel like they've earned it.
Yeah.
Like they've worked through their own stuff
Yeah.
and they've come out stronger.
You mentioned that the travel aspect is a big draw.
Yeah.
I'm curious for those who can't just jet off to Europe.
Right.
Does this book offer anything beyond just escapism?
It does. I
Okay.
think the travel descriptions are beautiful and evocative,
Yeah.
but I think the real takeaway is that adventure can be found anywhere,
Okay.
even in your own backyard if you're open to it.
I liked it.
It's about being open to new experiences, stepping outside your comfort zone,
Uh-huh.
and just appreciating the beauty in everyday things.
So it's not about the destination.
Right.
It's about the journey and who you share it with.
Exactly.
I think that's a great note to end on.
I think so too.
So if you're looking for a lighthearted escape with characters you can't help but root for,
Yeah.
People We Meet on Vacation might be just the ticket.
It might be. And if you're inspired to book a trip after reading it,
Yeah.
that's just a bonus.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Of course.
Don't forget to let us know what you thought of People We Meet on Vacation. We would love to hear your take.
Yeah.
And if there's anything else you want us to deep dive into, send those recommendations our way, because knowledge is best shared,
Always.
and we are always up for an adventure.